Hi everybody, we're just going to do a quick video and just basically do a recap of today's budget. So all I'm going to do for you is just give you a few of the main points from the budget which are going to affect most people, but most people are going to be interested in. So I'm not really going to go through any of the business stuff, okay, because to be honest, most people aren't going to be too bothered about that, or they might not understand it too much. So I'm just going to go through what's going to affect most people that they are going to be interested in. So the rates of income tax and national insurance, which is obviously paid by workers at the end of the day, is going to stay unchanged, not going to be touched. Obviously, the employer side, that's another story. Yep, that is going up. Okay, see, that's going up by 1.2%. Income tax band thresholds are to rise in line with inflation after 2028. Okay, preventing more people. The idea is to stop people being dragged into higher bands as wages rises. The basic rate of capital gains tax on profits from selling shares is to increase from 10 to 18%, so a nice big rise there, with the higher rate rising from 20 to 24%. Okay, we'll skip the business bit because nobody's really bothered about that, apart from me, obviously. So the legal minimum wage for over 21s is to rise from £11.44 to £12.21 an hour from April in the new tax year. The rate for 18 to 20-year-olds, okay, is going to go up from £8.60 to £10, so they get a nice big pay rise, which is a long-term plan to move towards a single adult rate. I don't know how they're going to do that, but good luck to them. And the basic and new state pension payments, which is, as I'd like to say, going to save them when it comes to cutting the winter fuel allowance for a lot of people, is going to go up by 4.1% next year due to the triple lock, which I believe is in April as well. And obviously they're also going to widen the eligibility for the allowance paid to full-time carers by increasing the maximum earning threshold from £151 to £195. Aren't they generous? Okay, now we come to the bits that people are more interested in. So the 5p cut in duty on petrol and diesel brought in by the Conservatives, due to end in April next year, is going to be kept for an extra 1 year. Aren't they generous again? And this is the one where a lot of my family are going to be upset, because I've got quite a few family members that don't drive. So the £2 cap on fares, which the Conservatives brought in, okay, which affects outside London and Greater Manchester, is going to rise by a whole pound. So it's going to go up to £3, which means all our bus journeys are going to go up straight away to £3. The commitment to fund tunnelling work to take HS2 to Euston Station in central London has been sorted out. Okay, so that's another nice one for them. And air passenger duty. Now, I've never personally been on a plane. I'm guessing it can be quite expensive, but air passenger duty is to go up in 2026 by £2 for short haul economy flights and £12 for long ones, with rates for private jets, I'm not that lucky, I'm not that rich, is to go up by 50%. Okay, and an extra £500 million next year to repair potholes in England, which I'm sure a lot of councils will be looking forward to getting a bit of that cash, because I know from working in the media in the past and dealing with on the social media side of it, you get hounded when you announce that this type of thing is going to happen, and you get all the sarcastic comments coming out. Vehicle excise duty paid by owners of all but the most efficient new petrol cars is to double in their first year to encourage shift to electric vehicles. Let's see how that one goes down. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be unhappy about that. Okay, so there's going to be a new flat rate tax of £2.20 per 10 ml of vaping liquid. I've got to find new ways of generating tax when they're not going to start increasing tax. Tax on tobacco is to increase by 2% above inflation, and tax on non-draft alcoholic drinks is to increase by the RPI measure of inflation, but tax on draft drinks is to cut by 1.7%, which has been said is going to be about 1p. So you're not going to be book big expensive holidays by your savings that you're going to make on your pint down the booze on Friday and Saturday night, to be honest. And the government is to review thresholds for sugar tax on soft drinks and consider extending it to milk-based beverages as well. So they tell us to have our calcium, and then they're going to look at taxing us on it. That's nice of them. And then the last one I'm going to go on to is housing. You know, this is a bugbear of mine because having worked in the home improvement sector for a lot of years, I get moaned at quite a lot about this. So social housing providers are to be allowed to increase rents above inflation under multi-year settlement. That's not going to go down well at all. Discounts for social housing tenants buying their property under the right to buy scheme is to be reduced. Looks like she ain't going to get rid of it. She wanted to. Deputy Prime Minister, good old Angela, looks like she ain't going to get that. And stamp duty surcharged paid on second home purchases in England and Northern Ireland is to go up from 3 to 5%. Okay, so a lot of the other things are pretty menial, or they're to do with business at the end of the day. So I hope that bit of information, I hope it's not too complicated, but I've given it to you. If you do have any questions, just drop us a message. We'll try and answer them because we do go through all the questions we always get asked. Okay, but for now, thanks for listening. If you're not already subscribed, if you could subscribe to the channel, we would appreciate it. But for now, thanks for listening, and we'll speak to you again a bit later.